Hello, everyone. Hi, Alicia.
Hello, friends.
It's Jane from Your Way Weight Loss. How are we all doing? Hello.
We're doing so good over here.
We really are. Hopefully, all of this has been recording this whole time. Hopefully.
Oh my gosh.
I have the
level,
recordings. I know. Next level depression.
next level depression if it doesn't record. It's going to record. It's going to work. It's going to be great.
Exactly. And I actually looked at the first one and it was there. So if we keep the same formula, everything should be fine. And at the end of the day, if these 4 podcasts that we did today did not record, we're giving up. And this is the end of our podcast, everyone.
I was going to say, we give up. And scene. Done.
And scene, thank you so much for your support. Oh my goodness. Nana. Okay. So, I saw this meme. And I really, really liked it. And I want to chat about, I do feel like the last 3 podcasts that we recorded were all about moi. So how about you update us on your life while I look for the things? How's it going with the Hawking household?
It's pretty quiet over here, which is good. We kind of didn't have a lot going on the first couple of weeks this summer to allow me to get some work done and just live our best lives. But it's going really well. There was a man measuring something yesterday for the pool. So the stonework, the words starting next week came out of their mouths.
Shut up.
Now, believe it, see it when I believe it.
Yeah.
But I've accepted it. And it's actually been nice that they haven't been working at the beginning of the summer because we got to enjoy the pool for the first, when they're working all day, we won't be swimming in the pool all day.
Yeah, no, you guys, it actually worked out that they didn't show up on time because you guys are away quite soon, Noah. When is your first trip?
July 16th.
Okay.
We go camping. Basically, July 16th, it's like game on.
Game on, yeah. And you're starting for the rest of the summer.
We go like camping, and then I go to St. Andrews for a night, and then we go camping again, and then we come back, and then we go to that resort. We call it a resort.
Oh, that house.
That house on the Kingston Peninsula, which is beautiful.
I love that.
Like a trillion bedrooms and a pool. And then we go to England for like 3 weeks.
No, it's good. Okay, your summer's really starting next week.
And I've been really actually enjoying the pace. I think the kids needed it as well. Like we're just chilling.
I like that. I'm more chill. Like I was thinking about if we were going to go away for my birthday. And I'm like, you know what? Like, what if we do more like, we go and fly to lunch in Halifax. And then we do cause I another 3 nights or somewhere. I'm like, I don't know. We were going to go New York. And I'm like, it's literally the same trip. It's literally the same thing.
Kind of, except you're in New York.
Except I'm in New York. But in terms of like what to do, you ride your bike around, you go eat. We would have to go watch a show because if not, like other than biking around and like, I don't shop, you know what I mean? Like I don't go there. It's all about like moving my butt. I just want time with Jeff, but I also like want fun, like as in activities and not just like we're sitting and doing nothing. So I don't know. I'm not even thinking about if we'll go anywhere, but I'm excited about the trip at the end of this month to go to Quebec for 3 nights. That's going to be like a big one. So maybe that's it for us. And I really enjoy being here right now.
You'll know when it's time. Like when I get a little itchy, I'm like, okay, we need to kind of do something. Yeah. But then sometimes like, okay, we need just some time at home. Yes. Are you going to fly? Is Jeff flying to Quebec?
No, because of the co-owner of the plane takes the plane to go to like this plane show in Florida or Chicago. I'm just making this shit up. Okay. But yeah, so no, the plane is taken. But at the end of the day, when it is events like the wedding, we have to go and we like already booked the room. The weather is just so touch and go that like we can't just like be flexible. So I'd rather drive and like imagine being in a car with Jeff for 7 hours. Like, my dream. What do you
want to talk about now, Jeff? So I'll just go to item number 3 on my list of things to be discussed in the car.
I clearly make a list. Of course I do. And we often, because he doesn't want to probably talk, I need to make the topics more friendly to what he wants to talk about. Right. So it's often like politics or the war or Russia.
Yeah.
Ukraine. There's a lot of those. And I just like ask so many questions. And it's basically like I learned so much when we go on road trips. I'm like, wow, I didn't know that. And he's like, and we listen to some of his podcasts. We definitely don't listen to mine. So he is like, oh, do you mind if we listen? And I just like, he like picks some that I really like are more connected to, or that I would like, but it's business ones, but I do own a business. So I'm interested in like some of the topics. So yeah, it's more businessy.
He might like the podcast that I love. That's Diary of a CEO.
Yeah, he might actually. I'll let him know.
Okay.
2% chance that he will listen to it.
Well, there's a guy, like the guy that does it is Stephen Bartlett, and he's like a big deal, and he's a shark.
Yeah, no, not because it's not a good podcast. It's because he doesn't really take my advice for like things. You know what I mean? He's like, okay. Gotcha. I gotcha. Okay, good. So your summer starts, and then it's going to be bam, 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 bam. And then you guys come home from England, and then it's pretty much school the next, like the week
almost
after.
2 weeks actually, which is really nice. That's how I wanted to plan the trip, so that we could come home. And we also planned the trip in January when we were under like lockdown. So I wanted like 2 weeks. If at that point I didn't know if we needed to isolate, I don't know what the rules are. I still don't. They could change tomorrow.
I know, it's so hard. Yeah. We like haven't booked anything for next year for our trip with the kids. And it's like right now to go on a cruise, you still need a negative test, and you still like, so it's like, holy mac, like I'm not getting, there's still masks inside. Like, I'm just like, oh my God. Like, I don't need that type of trip right now. Like it could be the 5 years. I don't care. I don't want the stress of not being able to get on the boat because of a positive test. So
absolutely.
So I don't know. Okay. Are you ready?
Ready.
Okay. It was the best math you can learn is how to calculate the future cost of your current decisions.
Ooh.
And I really like that because I do feel like that's a lot of the reflection of each day, and that each day has value.
Yes.
Because I do think that we don't, most of society doesn't do that. They don't like live for like understand what today's decision, that it still has a cost to it.
It's like we don't value or there's a word, not acknowledge. We don't see the small, tiny daily choices that we make that actually add up to the results.
Yeah.
Both positive or negative. We just don't see that.
We don't see it. And why is that, Alicia? Why don't we see that?
I think because mostly as a society, we want something so yesterday. We're so used to everything being at our fingertips that it's almost like if we have to do it every single day for months and months to see any benefit, we don't want it. We're looking for the quick fix.
No, I agree. That's definitely one part to it, because we want everything fast, save a day. And we don't. Okay.
Are you looking at this meme from which direction are you looking at it from? Like, are you looking at it from like, if you make good decisions every single day or bad decisions every single day? What angle are you looking at it from?
I think both, a little bit of both. When I think of maybe monetary decisions or financial decisions, I think like the actual cost of financial decisions. I do think that people sometimes don't realize that everything adds up, and like whether it's like debt wise or saving wise. And I think cost decision, and I know right now we're living in tough times for most, but what I mean is I think that we often like live in the moment and we don't think of the future cost of today's action when it comes to financial decisions. Although I live with a financial planner, so that is not my reality. It's actually next level, and he's doing too much math. That's what's happening. But if we think about bad decisions, as in, I mean, bad, we all know whatever decisions, but we don't recognize that this decision added up with this decision, blah, 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 at one point is going to cost heavily, you know? And okay, how do we help people create better math for themselves to be able to calculate the future cost of current decisions? What do you think?
I think it's in creating awareness every single day in those choices. We undervalue the importance of just tiny, small decisions that we make every single day, that if we can change, will add up to amazing things at the end, or can quite negatively impact us in the future if we go the other way.
Yes. Okay, so this goes with what you just said about like people not wanting to give it the time, because I think people see other people. So let's go success in life or success with weight loss, and they want to know what that person does today, thinking that it's like what they do today that got them where they are today, and it's like all of what preceded today is what got me what I have today. Financially and weight loss wise, right?
Absolutely.
So I think when you see people and you're thinking, oh, well, it's because of what they did this year or whatever, like you really need to understand that it's like a combination of decisions.
Like you see, oh, how epic was the photo of your home from Canada Day?
Oh, it was epic. It was a good one. Yeah.
I was like, yes. So, we can talk about it. People look at your home and know that you own a plane, and obviously things are going well over there in Shediac. And I've known Jose for a trillion years, so I know that didn't just happen overnight. So what you have today is not about what you do today. It's about what you've been doing for years.
And I think that go.
A few key things we need to point out here. So were you 16 when Jeff gave you the challenge to make $10,000 this summer?
Yes, I was. Yes.
And she just handed over the 10 grand and Jeff did his thing.
So I do think that there's two pieces to this. There is that it started young. So when you're thinking about like most people don't start, I don't even know the letters, RRSPs or whatever, at 16. But when you go out with a Jeff, and he's 16 and he's like, all right, Jose, we hadn't been together for like a year. He gave me the challenge to make 10 grand that summer. So just in the summer, and I had like 4 jobs and I was just like working, and he was like, and then we'll put it in your RSPs, whatever that means. And I just gave this stranger, this young 16-year-old 10 grand. Obviously his father, he like was working with his father. Jeff has been like, obviously Jeff since birth. He was saving money in diapers, everyone. But yeah, so I feel like that's an important factor of like, that's his job. That's what he does. And also we've been together for almost 20 years, building this life together. So it's not like when you meet, it's just, and people can be like, oh, lucky. I mean, it is part of my story, but just like you could be like, I'm lucky because I have less loose skin than you, but it's just not a part of my story. I was not pregnant with twins. You were pregnant with twins. Yes. And so you have that trauma or that whatever that I don't have, but you comparing to me and being like, oh, she doesn't have that doesn't help you at all.
It doesn't help you at all. But what does help me is looking at and being inspired by your work and your every single day and years of working towards that goal. So whether it's a financial goal, a business goal, a weight loss goal, guys, please don't look at what Jose or I are doing today and our lives today. It's like, well, let me take you back. What we did for years to get us to where we are today.
Yeah. And I know that our people that listen, or I guess according to our platforms, they're telling us that you guys are 25 to 45. So people that are listening are about 25 to 45, most of you. And we're still babies, you guys. Like there is so much time for us to create an amazing life for ourselves and use this energy that we have. And there's so much out there that we can do that we're just like almost stuck sometimes in our society's way or whatever. And like, we don't live in the same times as the 1980s or the, early 2000s. And there's so much out there. And so I can't even imagine when our girls grow up, like the opportunities they'll have to make money and, be who they want to be. I'm looking forward to it because I see it in that lens. I see it as like, there's so much opportunity. And I said that to Jeff about big cities. I said, sometimes I feel like I have so much I would have more opportunities in a big city. Maybe that's why I feel sometimes limited.
It's true. It's true. Like, cause there's just more humans. So like certain businesses that I've seen and I'm like, oh, it's not that I think the business is a bad idea. I'm like, is Moncton the right place for that business? Are there enough humans that are going to pay for your service?
And I noticed, I said this to Jeff while we were there. I'm like, I imagine like you just start a business. There's always people that come. He's like, yes, but with more people, there's more competition.
Yeah.
And so he's like, he said, you're not the only one starting a business in a big city. So you know how he is. He always like brings me back to earth. Not everything's perfect.
Yeah.
So he's like, you just have more competition in a bigger city. And then I was like, but imagine the opportunities for our children, like in a big city and how they could like really shine and whatever. And he's like, yes, but they don't have our people. Like that it's not as like, it's like a small town. Our people are special. We all know each other. There's something special about that, you know? And I was like, oh yeah, he was just like bringing me back to like whatever, but it's just, I see this big world that I don't know if oh my God, I need to write this down because I want to do a podcast on just how I'm mad at the diet, just dieting. I wanted to have that conversation. I just don't want to forget it. Mad at my diet.
You're saying that, I actually, when we were talking about our girls growing up and their possibilities, I actually was at Old Navy with Phoebe 2 days ago, and Piper was there too. But I told Phoebe straight up, you need to make sure whatever you do, you have a good job and that you make a lot of money, because I can already tell that you're going to be expensive.
I love that for you. I love that for her. I think it's important to have those conversations.
I told her she should be a stylist. I think she could have her own business as a stylist. She's already working so hard at her vibe.
And she has the good, like, because I truly believe that you and I, what we do is we're in that space, and not all moms are in that space of like creating and kind of like having your own business. Yeah. And so I want that for Dia. Like sometimes she wants to do like the typical career of like what I grew up thinking that I wanted to do. And I'm like, but we'll wait. There's so much out there that you could do, you know?
Yeah, you're right. Our girls are growing up different. Like, cause you know, I was doing a video of our sushi making the other day, and Piper's like, are you going to video everything? And Phoebe goes, the followers want to see everything, Piper.
Yeah, she gets it. Yeah. Everything. It would have been amazing. She would have been like, everything is content. I would have loved that. Tell her that once and she'll repeat it. She will. But yeah, I just think that there's so many opportunities and different ways to make money in 2022. And I just feel like the society we live in is almost stuck in like this certain way and these certain careers. And I just feel like we're going to a place where you can make money in such wow ways, like blogging and traveling and like, you know, and I don't know. Yeah.
It's so cool. There's like such an amazing world out there. And the whole point that got us here was talking about the future cost of your current decisions. And whether you take that financially, whether you take that about weight wise, whether you take that about, you know, just relationship choices as well. Relationship choices every single day, you guys, matters. And where we are today is a compound. All of our decisions compounded on top of the other. Like the day that I decided I was going to pay off our vehicles and then save and save and save, that got us in the home that I'm in today. Yeah. And then that, you know what I mean? Like those decisions are compounding, guys.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And at what cost? So that was the other piece of the conversation was everything has a cost.
Yep,
so everything. And so you might be like, oh, well, I'm in purchasing, but also just like when it comes to weight loss, it has a cost. So a certain look has a cost to it.
Yes.
So if you're residing in a larger body, that has a cost to your health, but also maybe life experiences. Yep. If you're living with a body that has abs, that had a cost to your certain lifestyle, like everything has a cost, and you are the one deciding if that cost is worth it to you. Just like when you're buying a shirt. Okay. And so I truly believe that if you can have daily decisions where you're like, at what cost is this decision? And it's like us going to like a date night. People will be like, oh my God, like we haven't gone on a date or whatever. Not going on a date has a cost to your relationship. Yes, you're saving money because you're not going on date night, but it has a cost to you and your husband's relationship. But me going on date night with Jeff has a financial cost, but it also has a cost on my relationship with my kids, because I'm not putting them to bed, but I truly believe that it gives them a chance to have someone else put them to bed. Yeah. It gives also, I always see it that way. It gives a chance for another human to love my kids. And I think that like the more love that my kids can have from different people, and I'm not the only source of love, is really important, because we don't know what my life is like, where if I'm going to be there forever. In my mind, I'm like, my nightmare is clearly dying young. You guys all know this about me. If you don't know that this is the moment you're learning that. And so I just feel like it's because like, how are they going to survive without me? Like so many people need me right now. Like I am so needed on this planet that like, I can't go anywhere, so that's how I feel. And I have so much life to live. So I'm like stuck between the two. It's like, I want to live forever because I want to like travel the world, but then I have kids that need me. So it's like, how do I balance both? And I want to spend time with Jeff with like feeling this good and feeling this happy. So it's like really, it's recognizing that piece as well.
It's recognizing that there is a cost. I think that's so important. I actually just recently I didn't tell you this, I got a not a nice message on Instagram about how they didn't like, and it's not the first time that people don't like that we talk about this, that worth itness of, and looking at the cost of food. And I personally really think that I'm allowed as an adult to figure out what the cost is of what I'm putting in my body. And I connected it to the cost of buying a shirt. No one gets mad when I say I'm checking the price of the shirt before I purchase it. I'm allowed to see how much that shirt costs before I decide if it's worth it. That does not mean that I have a skewed or bad relationship with shopping. It just means sometimes, and you know what? Sometimes I don't check how much the shirt is cost. I just buy it. Sometimes I want to be on a really strict budget, so I do check the cost. And I don't always check the cost of everything, but sometimes I check the cost of more things. Anyways, but that worth itness in your life choices is important, that you have all the information possible and you are the only one that gets to choose what the cost is and if it's worth it to you.
Absolutely. I love that. The end part, c'est toi là. Like
it's you.
And I always say that there are no bad decisions, no like too expensive. Like I'll never say like, oh, that meal is too many calories. Like that is not for me to decide. That is for you to say that is not worth that amount of energy in my body, or I won't feel good, or I value not putting that in my body. Like you are not a bad person. I think that if it's the drama behind it, at the end of the day, you're like, if you're looking into calories, like, so let's go with that conversation of looking into calories and being like, can't have that. No, you don't want that. It's not that you can't have it. I just don't want it.
That's the important piece.
I can afford any shirt. I don't buy all the shirts because I don't want the shirt. You know what I mean? So it's not about, can we afford it? It's like, do I want it even? I think we all deserve to make those choices.
It's the language after that also matters, and not just the language when you're figuring out how many calories that item is. It's not that's fat, I can't have that. That's high in calories, that's fattening. We don't use any of that language. It's just, is that worth it to me?
Yeah. I mean, and it's money wise, it's the exact same. You're like, if you're saving or you're not saving, these are all decisions that you're making. I don't think anyone's like, oh my God, you're saving too much money right now. Like, you know what I mean? It's none of your business. It's just food. People see it with their eyes. It's just, and people would even see maybe our lifestyle and be like, oh my God, they're spending all their money. Like, you know what I mean? Like people just have their own perception of what they want to see. So that's why it's really important that you spend more time thinking about your own perception of how your life is going. And if you're YOLO about all the things all the time, you might not retire until you're 70. But that was a decision you made over and over and over that you didn't care when you were going to retire.
100%.
So now you're 70 and you're going to have to deal with these consequences.
100%.
If you go YOLO and you never look at the calories and you end up 700 pounds on a couch, there's a show about you made these decisions.
There's a
cost to that. And you can decide if the cost is too much and it's not the cost you want. Yeah. All right, I got to go teach spin.
Okay, this has been a great chat.
Very great chat about cost. I feel like we're helping people with their finances now.
We got this. We don't need a certification, do we?
Absolutely. We have Jeff. He's our guy on the team.
He'd be so proud of us.
Do you think? Okay. Thank you everyone for listening. You know what to do. Share, follow, do all the things, leave a review. This is what helps us and keeps us going and doing this thing. Find us on all platforms, join us, look into our documentary, however you can support us. We absolutely appreciate it. Okay. Bye everyone.
Bye guys.